Alright.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. And it's officially the last day of the weekend, and I've been wanting to make this video for probably a while now, honestly, ever since the whole craziness that's been breaking down with a whole bunch of creators and the craziness with Elon Musk acquiring Twitter. It's been a huge mess for Twitter lately, but today I'm going to be covering the problems with Twitter, and I'm going to be joined by Pac-Fessor.
What's up? So today we'll be going over pretty much the good and bad of Twitter, basically.
Yeah, it's going to be like reasons why, like some bad things about Twitter, like people's opinions and a whole bunch of other stuff. And I'm going to be clear right now, I do pretty much hate Twitter at what they end up doing to people. But I can't also be that mad about Twitter, considering I'm basically on, and I tweet pretty much every day. So I can't really be that mad at this platform, but I'm going to go over the most obvious things when it comes to Twitter. And the first thing you think of if you're a gamer, it's called opinions. For some reason, the idiots on Twitter don't know how to handle opinions, and then they end up sending death threats to people or doing something like that. Like, if you say one thing on Twitter being like, oh, this game was terrible, everyone in that community would go after you and just try to cancel you. Like, bro, that's just his opinion. Why do you got such a problem with it? Like, why does Twitter always have to do something like that? I don't think they know what opinions even are. Because, like, why would you send death threats over someone over a video game opinion? Like, I think that's incredibly stupid. And then there's the tweet where it's like, oh, Nintendo games are unfinished, they're just incomplete. That's a very infamous tweet there. And that was definitely a very stupid tweet, because, well, he clearly didn't know what the definition of unfinished was. But then there's also stuff like certain creators getting hate on Twitter, like a whole bunch, and there's a couple obvious ones out there. I'm gonna mention a content creator that I know you sort of hate him, but I can understand what he's going through recently. And Reese, while you don't like him too much right now, he is basically going to be leaving Twitter, considering that, just like many other people, he's constantly getting harassed on that platform, and he's just really not liking Twitter, and he wants to leave the platform. And that's understandable because, I mean, like, if you were getting harassed comments every single day you would be tweeting, you would probably want to stop that platform too. Like, it's kind of crazy.
Right. And the thing about it is he made a lot of Paper Mario tweets, and when he talked about the same topic over and over again, it becomes boring. And people were telling him, where's the third-party games in the movies? But he doesn't listen because he keeps setting out Paper Mario. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to leave him because he's not listening. But, yeah, at least he's going to leave pretty soon, regardless of when he's going to leave. But, yeah, we could talk a bit about this all day, but we want to keep going and talk about some other stuff, too.
Speaking of another content creator that, for some reason, gets hate for whatever reason, despite what he does, Plain Rock. A lot of people hate this YouTuber, considering because he's a tech destruction channel. He destroys a whole bunch of things, and so many people, both on YouTube and Twitter, get mad at him for doing that. Like, dude, it's his money. Why do you gotta be so mad about it? If anything, the companies who are making the systems aren't getting mad at him for destroying stuff. They're just happy because they're getting the money from him, and then he's just destroying stuff to see, like the durability and everything like that. And then there's people out there on Twitter and YouTube who constantly hate on him because he destroys stuff, and if you don't like game constantly being destroyed, click off the video. It's not that hard. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I know that Plain Rock is your favorite YouTuber, am I correct?
He's not my favorite YouTuber. Scott the Woz is my favorite, but Plain Rock is one of my favorite YouTubers.
Yeah, Plain Rock is my favorite. He's a very funny guy. He destroys a lot of stuff. He's very fun. He's also very nice. He also listens to the fan base of what he wants. But when it comes to people like Reese who doesn't listen, it's a whole different story. But for Plain Rock, I don't get why people hate this guy, because he's honestly funny and he tries to get the best content out as possible, and I just don't get why. And then the other Twitter problem is I had, like, basically a year ago, was the announcement of the bad guys. So Universal Pictures announced the poster of the bad guys, and people were saying, oh, the movie's going to be awful. Like, dude, the trailer is not even out yet. They're just saying tune in to watch the trailer of the bad guys. That's the new IP that Universal Pictures were doing. And then they're like, I don't get why people were ranting on the movie, even though it's not out yet, with only the poster reveal. The posters is very good. Universal Pictures makes their posters awesome. But the bad guys is very awesome as well. But I just don't get why when people rant on movies that haven't got a trailer yet, but only got a poster reveal.
Yeah, it's kind of stupid how people are like, oh, this movie's gonna suck from a poster. Like, will a poster really be that crazy in terms of the entire movie? No, it's a piece of promotional art. It's not really that big of an idea, and that's not you don't even get a trailer yet, and you get one piece of art from a poster, and you're like, no, this movie's gonna suck. Like, that's absolutely stupid. Like, that happened with Sonic. That happened with Sonic Movie 2 at first too, because people were shitting on Sonic Movie 2 because the poster revealed for it was apparently to everyone not that great. Although I love the poster, but let's talk about.
I don't know. Favorite was like everything going on. Like the last one that we got was great.
All right, now it's time to talk about. While we talked about the basic things of Twitter, it's time to talk about. People. So, a couple months ago, you actually talked to Reese about doing different things on Twitter, and you said you made a tweet saying you were speaking the truth and everything like that. And every one of Reese's fans started going after you and just calling you out because you were a death metal fan, and that's the reason why people were calling you out. And honestly, like, people were just calling you out because you were just stating that you wanted him to do other stuff, and then these guys are all like, let him do whatever he wants, you fucker. Like, it was just like, I felt so bad for you because we're both autistic, so it makes, like, it just doesn't feel well for us.
And here's the thing about Reese's fan base. The thing about them is they like to treat first-party games like, and never treat third-party movies the same. They treat like third-party and movies don't exist. I just don't get why.
Yeah, I'm honestly very sad I was not able to publish that one video that we did on third-party games out. I just thought that me messing up a whole bunch of, really, I don't know.
That was the worst thing that happened. I will never forget that.
But I also have gotten insulted on Twitter before, too, for stating an opinion, of course. So one day, I was it was during Frontier's gameplay reveal, which I know we all thought was pretty shit. So then I was like, don't worry guys, it's just the first trailer. We could still possibly be getting a good game here. And I was getting replies like off the arsenal telling me like, no, this game's gonna suck. You're a stupid Sonic fan who's barely played any of the game. Like, I was getting like those tweets to me like nearly every fucking day. From one thing I said, I was like, just because we saw one trailer doesn't mean that that's going to be the final product. I mean, we didn't know at the time that was a 1 month build of the game, but I mean, that pissed a lot of Sonic fans off, and it pissed me off too when the screenplay trailer was a thing. And like I said, I still had hope for the game because, like I said, it was from an older build, and even when I was looking at the footage, I knew it was an older build. And people were just like making fun of me because I was saying there's still hope for Frontiers. Like, okay, you may be not hopeful for Frontiers, but I was. So that's just your opinion.
Yeah, exactly. And then the other story I have other stories. One of the other stories is I saw the trailer of Hollywood Stargirl when Disney announced the sequel of it. And I said, oh my God, it's not good at all, because I was being honest. Smart Disney is not great. Let's just be honest here. Most of the movies that came out this year were pretty shit. But for Hollywood Stargirl, they announced the trailer, and I watched it, and I said, wow, that's not going to be good at all. And the first movie was not good to begin with. It was rushed. The second movie was also rushed too. And then I would say, why can we not get like other franchises like Bill Nye the Science Guy, The Brave Little Toaster? But Disney fans were going after me and saying, oh, you have to watch Hollywood Stargirl because the franchise is so good. I said, dude, it's my choice if I should watch it or not, because I be honest when I watch movies.
Yeah, that's another thing I fucking hate, when Twitter people are like, oh, you have to do this. Like, bitch, you're not my mom. You can't tell me what I do. Do what I want. Like it's just so annoying, because, like, they're like, oh, you're not a fan of the series? Go perish. Get canceled, dude. Like, yeah, I don't like a series, and I'm not gonna watch it. That's my opinion, and I'm gonna control that. But then sensible people would know that. But then people on Twitter are just like harassing you for saying you're not gonna watch a movie. And then they're like, oh, you need to watch this movie. Like, no, I don't need to watch this movie, dude. It's a fucking movie that I'm not interested in watching. And that's what I'm saying. This just pisses me off, because Twitter alone, like I said at the beginning video, it's one of my platforms I go on and I'm very active on. But even then, I still see a whole bunch of negative comments every single day from many of my favorite people on Twitter, and they get negative comments all the fucking time. And like, even Zeno is considering leaving Twitter. That's how bad it is. If Zeno's gonna leave Twitter, like, honestly, like, I mean. Now let's talk about the final reason why I think Twitter is going down a downhill form right now. It can't be a Twitter video currently without talking about Elon Musk, clearly. So he recently now owns Twitter, and one of the stupidest things I think he's ever done is having to pay to be verified. Well, you don't have to pay, it's just something that you can do. And because of that, there's so many fake accounts that are verified, so it looks like they're real. Take, for example, the infamous Mario flipping you off image, which was from a looking like official Nintendo account, but it wasn't. It was a parody account that had the verified tag on it because they paid for it. Like, there's so many of those, like, accounts that are probably going to exist, and then that can hurt a company's reputation. Like, what if some kid was scrolling Twitter and saw that Mario flipping you off tweet? Their parents look at that and they would never buy a Nintendo game again because of a parody account. And parody accounts are just things that exist upon Twitter a whole bunch.
Exactly, and well, yeah, Bill Steve, he did talk about that in this video, and I was so surprised. I shared you the video and said, dude, look at this. And you told me it's a parody account, and I was pretty shocked. I said, how can a parody account do this? I don't understand that.
Oh, are you sending Racy that?
No, I'm talking about the Mario flipping you off thing. Like, how can a parody account have a picture of Mario doing that?
Well, it's because they edited the image. That's why. But, like, basically, the tweet did get taken down, and so the account also got suspended. But, like, why would you even post that image? What's so funny about Mario flipping you off? Like, yeah, it would sort of be funny if it was in an official game, but even then, if it was in an official game, parents wouldn't like that. So, like, you're not really trying to achieve the comedy of anyone from doing that. And now, in my opinion, this is the final topic I have to talk about for this video. And probably the whole reason why I sort of wanted to even make this video are the dumb trends that go on Twitter. The stupid trends stupid trends that you see on the trending tab constantly that have over 1,000 tweets. I'm talking about those. Now, if there's one thing that absolutely irritates me to the brim, is when one specific game series constantly is on trending and nothing else. And one of those series is Paper Mario. Now, while I love Paper Mario, and I know you do too, And hell, if you guys want to see this topic being discussed, you can look at Pac-Fessor's video on the Paper Mario Twitter discussion video. But I would say I'm getting sick of seeing Paper Mario, not just from Reese, but from everyone else on Twitter. Like, it's actually making me start to get annoyed of this because while I love Paper Mario as a series, I'm sick of seeing tweets in my feed like every day about this series. It's just like I'm getting sick of it. Can I see something new in my feed other than Paper Mario?
Yeah, and exactly. Like I said, we talked about the same franchise over and over again, like Reese does. It becomes boring, and he doesn't listen. But I was dealing with that pretty much every single day. I said, "Oh my God, why am I getting disruptions while I'm gaming or watching movies with Paper Mario?" Don't get me wrong, Paper Mario is great. Thousand Year Door is my favorite game. But when you talk about Paper Mario, it gets boring. And I don't get why people talk about it, because you know the reason why they talk about it is because they want to know when the next one's coming out. Yeah, I get it. We're halfway to the next game. You don't need to remind me about that game thousands of times. And then when you talk about the Paper Mario characters and partners, oh yeah, I pretty much know. I get it. You told me thousands of times about Paper Mario. And then the other thing that trend is Disneyland. Who fuck cares about Disneyland? Disneyland's not great. Oh my God! I see Disneyland and Paper Mario every day. I'm just tired of it.
I think your fury is unleashing here. I could tell, but I have another interesting thing that went on for the beginning of this year. So at the beginning of this year, we had a unique thing going on Twitter, deciding what the next Mario Kart entry was going to be. Was it going to be a Nintendo Kart where it'd be, multiple characters and all that, or was it going to be just a Mario Kart 9? And for a whopping 3 days, those topics were trending on Twitter, and that's all I was seeing. And of course, a month later, Nintendo confirmed that we were not getting either of those by releasing DLC for Mario Kart 8. But I would go far to say that was actually way more funner than Paper Mario, because seeing the unique tweets about what we could possibly getting for the next Mario Kart game, as opposed to Paper Mario, where Paper Mario's oh, the next game's coming out in a couple years, but then you got the interesting topic between Nintendo Kart and Mario Kart 9, just predicting people just predicting what the next game was going to be. That was a fun trend, and while it was trending for a whopping 3 days, it was a fun trend to look at. And there's times where there's trending games that actually have fun topics, other than, oh, this game's releasing soon. A very funny trending topic I found pretty recently was during the releasing of Frontiers. Was when Frontiers was releasing soon, I'm Here was literally trending on Twitter along with Sonic Frontiers. I'm Here was basically a reference to the song I'm Here. And I really liked that. It was pretty funny. But then there's the non-trending topics and the actual things that got trend on Twitter. How it started versus how it's going, or the whole Halloween tweet things. Those are very annoying.
Oh yeah, the October 31st, me on November 1st. Oh yeah, I told you, thousands of those tweets were made. I was like, holy crap! Why? What's so funny about this? I get it. What is this? What does this mean? The Peppa Pig official Twitter account did this too, and I was like, how can they possibly do that?
Yeah, it's honestly every company was doing it too. It was just kind of weird. What's so funny about it? Yeah, you changed your profile picture to not be all Halloween. What's so funny about that? You're just changing your profile picture back to normal. What? But
that was pretty stupid.
But that's all I had to say about Twitter. Like I said, it's one of my favorite platforms in terms of me tweeting stuff there, but it's not my favorite in terms of actually looking at the other sides of Twitter. Now, a lot of people...
it's my favorite when it's my favorite for the good. It's my favorite because of the news that I get from gaming companies, movies, and theme parks, and pretty much maybe any indie game company. But for the bad side, it's all about the people ranting on stuff about what I like and basically what happens regardless of how crappy it is.
Yeah, it's kind of stupid how that's the main reason why Twitter sucks so much is because people don't know what opinions are. And I think people who are on Twitter need to go have that talk and actually know what opinions are before going into a tweet and sending death threats to
Right.
someone. Like,
Right. And basically, like the only positive Twitter accounts that I followed are positive are Universal Pictures. You have the Hollow Knight Team Cherry Twitter account that's actually very good. You have the Chuck E. Cheese community, which is actually very nice. They care about everything. Like when they add something for Chuck E. Cheese, and then let's see, you have the Cuphead community, which they appreciate everything what the MDRCR does, and that's it. That's pretty much it. Those are the only communities that are pretty much positive, and that's it.
I will say though, I mean, I mentioned Frontiers earlier, and I'll mention it again. The Sonic community is absolutely dreadful on Twitter. Like, the Sonic community is terrible on Twitter because they literally, it's just like, when you're part of the Sonic community on Twitter, you're most likely going to see a lot of people being pissed off because someone liked the game that was terrible. Like, I can't tell you how many tweets I've seen where people like Sonic Forces, and then the replies are like, "Boy, Forces is trash. You better go in the garbage bin." But that's all I gotta say for today's video, and I will be live streaming later, just like yesterday, with some Wii games. I plan on streaming, so I'll be streaming those, and then I'll also be probably play some Mario Kart near the end. I don't know what Mario Kart game though. So if this video is out, when this video is out, I'll be streaming when it comes out. So without further ado, that's all I got. That's it. That's all I got.
But for me, just to summarize everything, it's horrible that we're seeing this kind of stuff, regardless of how bad it is. Like the worst thing that happened to me, like I told you, it's about the Reese and Paper Mario thing. Maybe the bad guys too, maybe. I'm not sure. Probably both of them actually. But both of them are pretty much the worst things I've had as of now. But I just hope that it could get a bit better sometime soon. But I think that's unlikely. But I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the worst that's happened to me was definitely the Frontiers trailer. But that's all I gotta say for my thoughts on Twitter. And speaking of, follow me on there. And unlike all the other crazy ass people on Twitter, you're actually gonna be seeing crazy banger tweets each day. And also follow Pac-Fessor on Twitter as well. His at tag is Pac-Fessor256, and mine is KeyTextYT in all lower caps. So feel free to follow both of us, and you'll get banger traits from both of us on Twitter. And so if you want to avoid that negativity side, you can just look at our tweets, and we'll have pretty good tweets, and we tweet nearly every day. So that's all I gotta say for this video, and we'll see you guys in the next one. All right, deuces.
Hornet, All Night Hot.